This is biology, children. If the sperm could talk, the sperm would say, man, I got a rough job here. I got to swim in a hostile environment. And there's 100 million other dudes in here with me that has the same objective in mind. And I got to get to this egg before everybody else, or I'm out of here. Sperm is saying, if sperm could talk, it would be saying, I gotta take the uphill road, swim against gravity to get to this egg. Now God has so fixed it where the odds that you and you and you and you and you and I and we would make it was so great that only the strongest of us would survive. Now, since we were cast into a hostile environment, God doesn't make life necessarily easy. He allows us to struggle against a hostile environment because the hostile environment brings out of us the best and the worst. Before we became conscious, we had to deal with a hostile environment. And before we became conscious, the odds that we would make it were 100 million to 1 billion to 1. And before we became conscious, we had to swim up against the force of gravity to get to the egg. And each one of us made that journey. So each one of us that made it is qualified to run the race of life. And the race is not to the swift, but to the one that could endure to the end. You got the picture? Now, you see this planet that we stand on? Some of you have been outside for a long time waiting to get in. And some of you have been sitting here for nearly 2 hours. And while you were sitting here, you were traveling. You thought you were standing still. But you have traveled, if you've been sitting here 2 hours, over 2,000 miles since you've been sitting here. Smoothest ride you've ever had in your life. Now, white folks did pretty good with that 747. But it's not smoother than the planet that you're standing on. Now, this planet is constantly in motion, isn't it? What causes the planet to move? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us it's the presence of light striking the earth at its equator, causing the earth to do what? Spin. As the earth rotates on its axis, following the law of light, obeying the law of light, the earth revolves around the sun, paying homage to the sun, making 4 dips in and out, giving us our seasons and our changes. Responding to what? To light. Very good. Now, when the sperm meets the egg, they say an explosion takes place and you have the first cell of life. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the cell of life in the darkness of the womb, unknown by the mother, unknown by the father, unknown to only the Creator. Isn't that heavy? Look, I want you to just understand principally what I'm about to say. Because your mother didn't know she was pregnant. And your father didn't know and was frightened when he found out. Maybe. But God knew. And he and you were together. Now listen to me carefully. Not your mama and you, not your daddy and you, but God and you in your first state were together. You have never been alone. You have never been without the presence of your Creator. And so there is nothing, listen, there is nothing in this world that you cannot do. Even if you feel alone and lonely, you are never alone as long as you are conscious of the fact that you are never alone. Listen carefully now. That sperm, when it meets the egg and the first cell of life takes place, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it begins to turn in the darkness. Anytime an object starts turning, light is present. And it is the presence of light and the motion brought about by light that brings about the evolutionary change. Oh, are you listening to me? Well, did somebody shine a flashlight in the womb? Where's the light coming from? The light is a part of your very being. You, at your core, are light. Oh, brothers and sisters. So as you and I begin to rotate, we begin to form into a clot, then an embryo, then a fetus. In a bag of waters, we start evolving and we're turning in the womb. Over and over and over, turning, making up, going through changes, getting ready for the journey of life. So you come forth out of the darkness of your mother's womb, complete yet incomplete. The Quran says, I have made you complete yet incomplete. The baby is complete. It's got everything it needs, but now it needs to be fed properly in order to evolve into what? You've already evolved into a fully grown likeness of what is called a human being. But now what can you evolve to when you're physically grown, and when you're spiritually grown, what will you be? All right. Let's go back to the Bible and Quran. Pardon me if I make this into a little class, but you know, brothers and sisters, I don't get to San Diego often, and I know it's if you give me just a few more minutes, I want to complete this thought. Are you all right? Good. Okay, let's take this journey now. Follow me, because this is critical to understand. Brother and sister, look. This evolution that takes place with the presence of light means that you are light, and only the presence of light can sustain your life. You say you are the sunshine of my life. Who is the you that's the light of your life? It is not the woman that you're in love with. Of course, she makes you feel good. It's not the man you're in love with. He makes you feel good. But that's not the essence of your life. The essence of your life is the creator of light. So the